Yep, 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 yep.
Hi, welcome to the Finnish football show, Huuhkajat Matchday Live. I'm Mark Wiltshire. I'm joined very briefly by Mark Hayton. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
And by Keke Murali. Hi, Keke.
Hey.
Rich can't join us before the game, but hopefully he'll be here at half-time and after the game as well. So, Mark, as you've got to dash, why don't you tell everyone where you're going?
I'm going to a mate's house with a couple of other lads to watch this final game of the group.
So people like Keke and Rich will be quite jealous because they're not allowed friends at the moment in the UK.
Lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about, we shouldn't start the pod talking about Boris Johnson.
No,
his reaction to Corona. But yeah, Finland's, we're all right. We're allowed house parties and stuff.
So from the other day, Mark, or looking ahead at this game, what's the one thing you want to bring to the attention of the listeners before you dash?
Well, I guess that Joni Kauko didn't make it into the starting 11 as we'd have hoped, and it looks like the injuries have put us into the wing back formation, 3-5-2, 5-3-2, however you want to call it. So it looks like Rive is going to go for playing through. He's going to want Schuller and Kamara and Taylor to link up in the middle, connect the ball, and try and play through the Welsh, which is a tricky thing because they like to block the midfield and then, like the Bulgarians, throw in the odd dirty tackle now and again. So I think it's I don't know. I've been saying this for 3 or 4 matches that it's going to be a quiet, dull game. And so this one should be right, but then it might end up being just one of those absolute goal fests. It could go either way, I think.
You claimed that it would be a dull game on Sunday, and 6 minutes in, Demo Pukki scored his first goal for a while, which was a nice start.
It's the same. If Kamara and Lud and Schuller and Taylor, if they start linking up really well quickly and catch the Welsh cold, we could be in for another early goal. We've started in the last year or so. We've been starting the first 5 minutes really offensively, every game, right? We've tried to push on and try to snap it together. If it comes off, we've got Pukki. I think Deme's in form. He'll score. Lud, he can score. We've got goals.
This 3-5-2, and against Wales, we were a bit surprised to see it, and then it was tricky for Ilmari Niskanen playing that right wing back when he's not a right wing back, but Nikolai Alho is playing in that position tonight, and doesn't he bring a bit more? I mean, I love seeing him getting forward. He's very good going forward, but doesn't he bring a bit more defensive nous as well to the team?
Yeah, he's a bit more used to the role of a fullback. It's where he's been playing predominantly for Huuhkajat, so that's kind of a good sign. The one area of caution is that I haven't seen the Welsh team because I've been a bit snowed under. Is Daniel? I guess Danny James is starting on the left for the Welsh. The Man U winger.
I was hoping Keke would come in there. That's why I kept my mouth shut.
Sorry, Danny James,
Yeah, so he's a tricky player. So Alho's good. So it's good to have a proper fullback in there. Daniel James caused Niskanen tons and tons of problems, which you would expect for the bloke playing his first ever game at fullback. But I think Alho's in for a really tough night. It's going to be a proper test for him. Proper test.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to watch. Maybe we'll run through the whole team just for the listener. And if you want to head off to catch the game, Mark, and maybe we'll see you at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, try and join us there. We'll see you later.
We'll do. All right, so what are we on?
Keke, do you want to run through the team?
Yeah, sure. So Radetzky in goals, obviously. So all those clean sheets under his belt. So he'll be looking for another one of those. Then the back three, we'll call it. You got O'Shaughnessy and then Arayuri and Toivio. O'Shaughnessy had a cracking game against France. Obviously a friendly, but yeah, it was. We all got surprised with the result there, and I thought he played really well there. So no qualms about him getting involved. We were talking before about it could have been Oyala, but he's not quite as old as us, but in international football terms, he's getting on a bit. So O'Shaughnessy makes up the three, and then we've got Uranen, Taylor, Kamara, Schuller, and Alho. which are the obviously the wing backs will drop back and get forward. So that's the 5 across the middle, and which is a decent midfield. Kamara's playing out of his skin for club and country at the moment. So hopefully he's not scared to put a tackle in, which he's not usually. So we'll look to see that, and also he can break up the play, and in the transition he can get the ball forward. So we'll be looking for that. Taylor, we've seen Taylor's skill. He sort of latched on to Yole's sort of loosish pass the other night and fed it through to Pukki for the goal. So we'll be looking for a bit more of that from Robert. And then out front, you've got Teemu Pukki paired with Robin Lodd. I don't know if it's going to be a traditional 2 or if Robin Lodd will sit just back off of Teemu to try and, link that between the midfield and Teemu up top. So we'll see how that works. But again, another player, Robin Lodd, who's absolutely on fire at the moment. He's ripping it up in the MLS. He's full of confidence. He's been scoring goals, been creating, pitching in with assists. So I think I'm personally positive. I think we've got it all to play for. As I said, for those who have been over to the website, finishfootballshow.com, and had a look at our little preview and our predictions, I think, Mark's right. We have sort of come out of the traps a bit the first 5 minutes in the recent games, but I can see the first 5 minutes being a bit cagey. I don't know. I just think both teams won't want to lose it in those first few minutes, So, I can see it being a bit of that first, check each other out. And then hopefully we can go for it. The incentive it sits with us, doesn't it? Wales are top of the group, so it's down to us to beat them. So
it's exciting, isn't it? I wrote that I was a little bit nervous about this game because Wales do have the ability to unpick defences and create something out of nothing, and it depends on their lineup and kind of how those flair players actually turn it on tonight. I wonder if this 3-5-2 might also become like almost like a 5-4-1 with the fullbacks dropping back and Rod dropping back and Pukki's there on his own, which is kind of what you alluded to as well. Will he drop a little bit and play a sort of a one behind Pukki's one? That remains to be seen. But it's interesting. Obviously, Joel Pohjanpalo was injured on Sunday, turned his ankle. He's had an operation, right?
Yeah, he's had an operation today. So bit of news that sort of broke a couple of hours ago, I suppose. He's posted on his Instagram story and it's also on his official Twitter and he's posted it from his hospital bed. He's had the operation already, and he's himself and his doctors are quite pleased. It was actually a broken ankle, that he suffered. But there's no muscle damage. There's no soft tissue damage. No ligaments have been damaged. So it's basically just a bone fracture. It's going to take him, I suppose, six or so weeks for the bone to heal and knit back together. And he's sounding and looking positive and says he can't wait to get back out there. So that's good news for him and good news for us and everybody else, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a bit of a worry seeing him limp off. He looked very sore on Sunday. Yeah. If he's had a broken bone, he had every right to look a bit sore. But as you say, luckily only that.
Yeah. Obviously, until they get their scans done, they can't really be sure what's happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all done and dusted now. So I think it looked from the replays that he planted his foot and the momentum sort of kept him going. And that, they're always nasty, but he seems to have, it's the best of a bad situation, really. If it's just a bone break, he'll be okay. But yeah, just having a look at this Wales lineup now. Yeah, Daniel James starts along with Gareth Bale up top. So yeah, maybe they are going for it.
So not Kiefer Moore.
No.
Okay, because he was a handful last time, wasn't he? Very very big and powerful and just a nuisance. Which is, I mean it as an absolute compliment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've got to take the positives, haven't we? I mean, Wales are going to be having their caretaker manager on the bench tonight. Ryan Giggs is unavoidably detained somewhere else. So yeah. No,
Hey, just before we sort of finish this section and head off to watch the game, just run through that Wales squad for the listeners.
Okay, so you got Danny Ward in goal, Connor Roberts, Chris Mepham, Joe Rodon, and James Lawrence make up the back four. In midfield, you got Harry Wilson, Ethan Ampadu, he's a decent player, Joe Morrell and Norrington, and then up front, Danny James and Gareth Bale.
I would say there are a few of their flair players missing from there.
Yeah, they've had
Johnny Williams would have been another worry. So
let's have a look at their bench. I mean, yeah, they've got they've had their fair share of injuries themselves. Kiefer Moore's on the bench. Johnny Williams is on the bench. So yeah, I mean, they've got their options as well. But if we want to progress into League A, these are the teams we've got to be beating.
Okay, Keke, I'm literally rubbing my hands with anticipation. Let's
come on,
knock it on the head now. Blow that whistle, and I'll see you back here at half time.
See you at half time.
All right.
Marcel.
Okay, we're back after a first half of incidents, and you would have heard from the sound effect and you'll hear from the tone of my voice, it didn't quite go to plan. I'm here with Keke again, and Rich is with us now at half time. Well, lads, what went wrong?
Oh, well, where do you start? Having a Jere Urunen sent off after 12 minutes for a professional foul. Up until that point, Finland seemed to be, I called it rope-a-dope, but it was just dope.
And not in a hip-hop sense.
No, Daniel O'Shaughnessy thought he was Steven Gerrard, playing the ball around in front of the box. Radetzky had to make a couple of saves. They were just inviting pressure on them from the start. Just dreadful game management. And they've invited it on them, and Wales are 1-0 up. And to be honest, Finland are lucky to be 0. So, yes, there we go.
That ping from a WhatsApp message was from Mark H. He can't join us live, but he said it was a red card. The free kick before it, the Finland free kick, was the worst in the history of free kicks. And that we need to get Lod, Kamara and Taylor on the ball more. He made one other comment, which is a Finnish swear word beginning with V, which I'm not going to say because I wouldn't want to offend any ears listening. You're right though, Rich. It was all this messing around with the ball. I know it's trendy nowadays to mess around with the ball, but we were doing just daft things in front of and inside our own box.
I just find it strange that, you know, I as you say, this is the thing, and Finland have been playing a bit like that in a couple of the games that I've seen. I think against Ireland they did a bit, but you know, this is a game where the main incentive is do not concede a goal, and they've started like that. It's a slightly mismatched team. They've changed the formation, and you know, you're asking for that. I mean, Wales should have been at least 1-0 up by the time of the red card. And then the goal they scored was just endemic of the situations that have been allowed to happen before that.
It was a terrific save from Luke Radetzky from Bale, crossing from the right into the panic zone just inside at the edge of the 6-yard box, and Bale came sliding in, and Radetzky got another strong hand to keep it out. But Keke, there were some bright moments of Finland, weren't there? Going forward, there was some nice football.
There were. I don't think we started playing until Urunen got sent off, to be honest. I mean, once it was down to 10 men, they had 5 or 10 minutes of the brightest spell. Actually made it into the Wales half and penetrated a little bit. I mean, I don't think we can totally look over the O'Shaughnessy chance at the other end. He's, you know,
describe it, Keke.
Well, the ball coming from the right, and he's lost his man. He's climbed quite high, but he's ended up lifting his foot up and trying to side foot it into the net, but it just spun up into the air, and then eventually they blew for a foul on the goalie, I think.
But he wanted a head, didn't it? He wanted a nice strong head on the ball.
Yeah, I think he might have. He's a big lad, so he might have had to have got down quite low for a diving header for that one. But
then
you
don't want a defender then going in the 6-yard box with his feet, because it came off his heel and went up in the air, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, but that's really all we've had to write home about. There's not been much else. I mean, obviously the game plan's gone, if whatever the game plan was, because it wasn't too obvious at the start, but that's gone right out the window now. But they're still Alho's still getting down the wing a little bit. They're getting it out to him. He's linking up a little bit with Robin Lod. There's been 1 or 2 long balls that have tried to find Teemu Pukki, but apart from that, the only thing I think we've got to celebrate is keeping it at 1 and Luque's weldy save. But I mean, I'd be looking. We got nothing to lose now, so I'd be looking to bring players like Joni Kauko in. You know, he's tough, he's strong. You know, he's not going to take any crap. So I'd be looking to bring him in and see what he can do.
In place of Schuler?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think the 3 at the back seem to be, maybe it's just this 3, because 3 has worked earlier in the tournament. These 3 aren't working. The Toivio and Ariuri work so well as a pair. And the ball, they're not looking, they're not communicating. The ball's kind of travelling either between them or behind them. The TV have just shown the chance that Fredetsky saved. You know, that's again, they're not working well enough together. And if they can switch to a 4, and I mean, again, we don't want Pukki isolated up front, but I think 4 at the back will provide a bit more stability and a bit more what we're used to. And at least then the rest of the team can build on that, because we have to score twice now. That's the rule. You know, that's how it is. So we've got to build. If we get 4 at the back, and at least then we'll know what we're doing. So.
Well, sorry, Keke.
I was just going to say, I don't know what Toivio and Ariuri are normally work so well together, but poor old Toivio sort of lost his man for the goal. And the pair of them ended up bumping into each other as the ball went in the back of the net. So, I don't know. But hopefully Marco Canova can give them a bit of a talking to at half-time. We'll see if there's any changes and we'll go again.
We've got a few minutes till kick off. So, listener, you'll know very soon from the sounds that you hear after we stop talking how the second half has gone. And we'll be back here in about an hour real time. With the final match report. So we'll see you shortly. Okay, and we're back at the end of the game. It's finished. Wales 3, Finland 1. We ended our halftime report thinking, okay, what can we do? How can we come back into the game? And I kind of was sitting in the lounge doing a little bit of editing here, and I thought, right, I'll just go and grab a beer before the match kicks off again. And on my way back, there was some action. Keke, what happened?
Wales scored.
Yeah, they did. Essentially ending the game.
Yeah, pretty much. They, you might as well say direct from the kickoff. Yeah, they just went straight up there and bashed it in the net. It was. I don't really think we'd got started for the second half really, and all of a sudden found ourselves 2-0 down. But
it was a cracking goal, wasn't it? From the edge of the box into the top left-hand corner.
To be fair, you don't really save those. You know what I mean? It was a great goal, but managed to sort of grow into the second half from a Finland point of view, and we did have a 10 or 15 minute spell where we looked all right, and ultimately scored what proved to be a consolation goal. But at the time, certainly myself got me hopes up that we could keep going. But that's what we were hoping for from the start. Really, Robin Lod hooking up with Teemu Pukki. That's exactly what happened. And and Pukki scored. So 2-1, and we're thinking, hold on a minute, could it be on? But no, it wasn't to be.
There were a few chances. It was another one of those kind of classic Pookie goals, wasn't it? On the similar to the goal the other day, really, on the shoulder, breaking away, playing it across the keeper, and it was a nice classic demo moment. Rich, you got to see a bit more of the second half. What caught your eye?
Well, I think it was Caneva made a couple of changes sort of after, I think it's about 55, 60 minutes. He brought Hammerlinen and Soily on, and they did look quicker. The team looked a bit more structured. I think it removed, because it took O'Shaughnessy off, and it went to that four at the back that seemed to make the base a little bit more solid. And I think, there were flashes. There was that period, I think, around the time of the Finland goal where Finland were a better team or not, but they've certainly improved and certainly the equals. And I think, had they got another one, had they nicked it, and, things would have been a bit different. I mean, Pookie hit the post later on. It was, 3-1 was a fair scoreline. I mean, Wales had plenty of chances themselves. I think, in the second half, Finland didn't disgrace themselves, down to 10 men. The team that finished the game, the average age must be really low, because you had a lot of fairly recent under-21 graduates on the pitch. And I think, in the long run, that's not a bad thing. But, it was just that first 20 minutes just did them completely. And from there, it was uphill. And I suppose at least at the end of, Wales did concede a goal. That they've been sort of looking for that clean sheet. And, one silver lining is that Finland look like they've made pot 3 for the next World Cup qualifying. So there is some good that's come from tonight.
This is one of your favourite subjects, the old coefficient. It crops up from time to time in podcasts and in group chats. So
yeah, I mean, it's a big thing for Finland. I think they're going to be in a 3rd seed now rather than a 4th seed. So in reality, they should only have to play 2 teams that are obviously better than them. And I think with the way that the qualifying works is if they get a team that, at least they've got a better chance of making the playoffs at least. So it's good. I mean, Bosnia lost, which pretty much confirms that. So that's good.
Bosnia and Greece were the 2 other teams sort of there or thereabouts, weren't they?
Yeah, so basically Finland had to do better than one of them. And I think Bosnia lost all 3 games this week. So, and Finland got 2 wins, which is more than enough. So.
Yeah, okay, good.
I mean, ultimately, the Nations League, it hasn't been a bad campaign. I mean, we've finished 2nd on 12 points. It's not a terrible campaign. The opening Wales game was it was a shame to lose that one. I don't think there was too much in that match. And then obviously tonight we've been done by that red card, and as Rich says, from that moment onwards, it's an uphill battle, isn't it? Mm. But if I think we just got to look at the positives. Ultimately, this international break has been good for Finland. They've blooded a few more young players. I mean, we've had that fantastic result against France, albeit a friendly. So I think we just got to put this one to bed and move on. And if we had a one promotion, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Wales get on in League A. But if we had a one promotion, would it have been back to the old days of getting smashed every week? I mean, maybe it is the case that we need another year in this B League, test ourselves against some teams on a par with us, and see what we can do after that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how the draw works for the next week. Obviously, the promotion and relegation things happen between all the different group A, B, and C and D, and then is there seeding for how the teams are drawn, or just all 16 Group B teams?
I think they are seeded.
Are they? Okay.
I think they are seeded to a point. I think I'm not sure where Finland were in this round, but I remember when the draw was made and we talked about it, and we thought, well, legitimately Finland could finish 1st or 4th, and coming 2nd in that group, there's no disgrace. I think they did. I mean, we got to the last game and there was something to play for. And maybe League B, as Keke said, it's a par. It's, you've got teams like Sweden coming down, Iceland are coming down. Teams that Finland are aspiring to be their peers. And if they can give them a good game over. I guess the next tournament now is. Well, I don't know when it's going to be. It would normally be in 2 years, but then the World Cup's going to be played in 2 years' time from now. So,
true.
so who knows when it will be? But I think another 6 games against fairly equal opposition. By then we'll have had a Euros, we'll have had a World Cup qualifying campaign as well. These players like Force, Valakari, they'll have had an extra couple of years playing time. I think it's, as you say, if you'd have gone up to Group A, I mean, even Germany got pumped 6-0 last night. That's the standard, that Finland are hoping to get to. And I think maybe, how far do you get there before getting beat 3-4-0 every week is damaging rather than a good thing.
I'm not sure getting hammered 6-0 by Spain is in anyone's ambitions connected to the Finland team. That was kind of my thought as well. That you go up and end up in a group with, I don't know, Spain, Netherlands, and Portugal, and they're just handing you your backside every game, and then back down in a couple of years' time. I think this might be a good period of consolidation. The Euros that hopefully take place next year are going to be tough as it is. Then you got the qualifiers for the next World Cup, where we're somewhere in the middle of the seedings for that group. So maybe some Nations League consolidation is not a bad thing.
I mean, you think about the Euros now. I mean, I think the World Cup qualifiers start in the spring. But the Euros, I mean, Russia lost 5-0 tonight. So no one likes to see that. Against Serbia.
Okay. Wow.
I love to say, no one likes to see that. I mean, of course we do. But then the other 2 teams in the group played each other. Belgium beat Denmark 4-2. So
you saying we got a chance?
Well, this is the thing in the Euros. 3rd place can get you through to the knockout rounds.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, you have to, I think, be in the top 4 of the 6. But I mean, if they get a win. 3 points. I mean, Portugal did it last time. They ended up winning it. They got 3 draws. So who knows?
Oh, he's talking it up already, Keke.
Oh, put a monkey on it, monster.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Greece.
I was just maybe round off by saying that today is the Finnish Football Show's 5th birthday. It was the 18th of November 2015 that we published the first episode, and it's been a roller coaster. Although it's been a roller coaster that sort of went flat for a couple of years and then has gone steeply up. So let's hope there's no big dip coming in the next year or so. But many happy returns, Rich.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you too, mate. I didn't bring cake, but I bought a beer.
Oh, very very nice. It wouldn't be the Finnish Football Show without Rich having some product placement just in front of the camera. So
yeah, if Heineken would like to sponsor the Finnish Football Show, then
they're more than welcome.
Our Patreon will be coming soon, no doubt.
And
if that other podcast can charge £8 an episode or whatever, then
yeah.
And I guess that this will be the last of the kind of the Finnish Football Show kind of chat shows for a few months until we start to sort of wind up towards next season. But we've got some ideas for other shows to bring you during the closed season. Maybe a few more interviews that we're all kind of working on in the background. If you, listener, have got any suggestions or even better introductions to people that you think we should be interviewing, then we're happy to hear from you. Finnish Football Show at gmail.com is a place to contact us there, or find us on the various social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We're all over the place like a bad rash. And until the next show sometime in early 2021, thanks for listening. Goodbye. Bye, Rich.
See you later.
Bye, Keke.
Bye-bye.